We're talking classics. It's the ideal time to talk about Speedshow'09, which is just a couple of months away, and that time is going to fly by. It will be at the ASB Showgrounds in Auckland, and the man behind it all is Keith Sharp. Keith, good afternoon. Good to see you again.
Good afternoon, Jeff. Thanks for having me back.
What do you have to entice us with this year?
Well, yet again, the show's grown bigger and bigger. We've got motorcycles this year, the Kiwi Rider Motorcycle Hall, dedicated hall full of not just new bikes from people like Honda, Suzuki, Triumph, etc., but some classic old bikes in there from some pretty well-known names in New Zealand racing.
Ivan Mauger, a couple of them?
Ivan Mauger, absolutely. He's very kindly lent us two of his bikes. I researched Ivan before coming on the show because I didn't know a lot about him, and he's got a phenomenal history. I mean, Kiwi should be proud of him. He's won over 1,000 races in 26 different countries, and that's just really skimming the surface on the man.
Yeah, we do have a marvellous speedway history with Briggs and Ronnie Moore as well.
Absolutely.
While we're still talking about bikes, what about New Zealand names like Britain, for example?
Yes, well, we're going to have a Britain there. I mean, a great name in New Zealand bike history. BSL, perhaps not so well known. We've got a bike called a Koenig, or Koenig, I think it's pronounced. Ridden by a guy called Kim Newcomb back in the 70s. Now, not many New Zealanders know this name, but he came within 1 point of winning the 500cc World Championship. So some great old pieces of bike history there.
Sure. Now, let's deal with four wheels. NASCAR, what's that about?
Yeah, well, we've got a NASCAR at this year's show that set a land speed record for a NASCAR, and it was driven by a guy called Russ Wicks, who's an American daredevil. Took it down to Bonneville on the salt flats and went 397 kilometres an hour. I think the guy deserves a medal for gallantry in doing that sort of speed in a car like that. Somebody
in this country threatening to do that sort of thing, are they?
Yes, well, we heard about the car being brought into the country. Our good friends at Jenner's Freight shipped the car in, and they said, look, this car's coming in. There's a guy called Ken Vincent bringing it in. He's a former sprint car champion. He's going to have a go at the New Zealand land speed record, which I think is currently held by Owen Evans at around 345, 350 Ks. And so we heard about the car coming in. We talked to Ken and said, look, we'd love to have the thing at Speed Show because it's a fantastic piece of equipment, and very, very few Kiwis would have seen a NASCAR up close, I would imagine.
Something new this year as well, the Speed Show for Kids area. What's that about?
Yeah, well, a lot of visitors said, hey, it was a really cool show, Keith, but, you know, I would like to stay longer, but my kids got a bit bored, so that's okay. We can look after the kids, and always keen to get kids into motorsport at an early age. So we've got a big Speed Show for Kids outdoor area, all sorts of activities for children to get involved in, interactive activities. And one of the things we've got is a thing called Rory the Race Car. Younger viewers will know all about Rory, preschool viewers, I guess. I think it screens on Channel 2 on a Saturday morning. But the interesting thing for me in this, Rory's actually, it's a British television program. It's voiced by Sterling Moss. The voice of Rory is Sterling Moss. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So is this some sort of challenge to Thomas the Tank Engine or SpongeBob SquarePants?
Yeah, there's something. I'm not really up with all the kids' programs, but I believe it's number 2 and one behind Thomas the Tank Engine. So.
All right, now if I'm sitting at home watching this and I think I've got something that Keith would really be interested in, is there still time to get it in the show, and how would they go about doing it?
Absolutely. Love to hear from anybody out there. The best way is to get hold of us through the website. That's speedshow.co.nz. And they can contact me through there. You've got something you think's a little bit unusual, got some history to it, please get in touch. Love to have it at the show.
Just thinking about that NASCAR too in Bonneville, I mean, New Zealand just has such a great record there, doesn't it?
Well, absolutely. I mean, I think last year there's something like 12 Kiwis went up to Bonneville on salt flats. We've got a couple other cars, a couple of Kiwi cars that went there. Bill Ward's, he broke a record. Garth Hogan, he's a pretty well-known name in drag racing. We've got his car at the show. And we'll have some bikes as well. So a lot to see.
Fantastic. Well, you will keep us in touch with what's going on because you've still got 2 months to go, haven't you?
Absolutely, yes. We'll update you as we get closer to the show.
Fabulous. Lovely to see you, Keith. Thanks for coming by.
Great. Thanks for your time.
There we have it. Keith Sharp, plenty going on, and great to have him back with us on Powerbuilt Tools Motorsport. We'll certainly be keeping you up to date as to what's happening with that show over the next couple of months. Speedshow'09 happening on September 19 and 20 at the ASB Showgrounds in Auckland. And last year, you may remember, Scott Dixon's car was on show, and Scott was there as well. Another special show to look forward to in September.